What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're here for a Smackdown review for the last night's episode of Smackdown on Fox, where they advertised the 25th anniversary of Triple H. 25 years in one company. That's crazy. That is just something you don't see anywhere, really, if you think about it. Outside, of course, yeah, The Undertaker's been there for 25 plus years, 30 years now. But usually, a person does not stay in the company for that long. Unless, of course, you own the company and you want to keep it until, you pass away. 25 years as an active competitor, having knee injury on both sides, tearing both quads, multiple injuries over his career, multiple WrestleMania moments, multiple WrestleMania matches, I think it was 172 pay-per-view main events and 82 title main events. Guys, done it all. Except for, of course, when Money in the Bank, of course, he's come out lately and said that he has no desire to go up the ladder and get thrown off at his age, so him winning Money in the Bank is out of the question. So that was the end of the show, which we'll talk about that later and see what WWE did to celebrate the life and the career of Triple H in WWE. Also on the night, Dana Brooke and Carmella versus Bliss and Cross for the women's tag team titles. Lacey Evans versus Sasha Banks in a Money in the Bank qualifier, and Drew Gulak versus Baron Corbin in a Money in the Bank qualifier. But we start out with the New Day. As we know, last week, Big E wins the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in a singles triple threat match with Miz and Jimmy Uso Jey Uso, I think it was Jey Uso, in a triple threat match. He won it, rolled around, and acted like he was making love to a woman for the first time. Anyway, they come out to celebrate. Kofi says put respect on Big E and for winning the tag team titles by himself. He's like, come on, give it up for him. Big E's like, there's nobody literally here. Not a soul. Nobody here. Kofi does mention that, in all seriousness, this is historic significance because they have more title reigns as a whole than the Hardys, the Edge and Christian, all these tag teams that I can't think of off the top of my head, but everyone, but of course they don't mention the Dudleys because the Dudleys are 9 times tag team champions in WWE Canada. They're like 10 or 11 right now, but that's not beside the point. So so obviously what's going to happen between now and next year, New Day, before the New Day even thinks about breaking up, but WWE even thinks about breaking the New Day up, which they should have done about 2 years ago. So I think they're just waiting for, and this, just doing the same things over and over and not doing anything different until they get they're going to lose these tag team titles. They're going to win them back, making them tied with the Dudley Boys, and then they're going to lose them again. And then I think with the 10th time, because they'll win them for the 10th time, that'll be the last time the New Day are tag team champions, because I think them losing the titles then is when we will see a breakup of the New Day. Vince McMahon loves himself the New Day, even though Kofi Kingston himself in the tag team division is on a pedestal all his own. Most days as a tag team champion, most title reigns of all superstars in WWE. I think he's up to like 12 or 13. I could be wrong. But Kofi Kingston is on a mountaintop of his own. But yet, Vince McMahon wants the New Day as a whole to be known as the longest reigning and most ever tag team champions in WWE. So they are having their nice little celebration when out come the Lucha House Party. Now, the Lucha House Party come out, and I believe it was Gran Metalik, it was Lince Dorado, who said, we came out to congratulate you, of course, because you guys won the tag team titles, but, always that but, even though they're baby faces, there's always that but. We have been watching tag team after tag team after tag team after tag team get opportunity that continues to pass us by. And we want to be the tag team champions ourselves. We do. We want to be tag team champions ourselves. So they're talking, and before they can say much of anything else, out come Miz and Morrison, who walk right past them, power walk right past them. They get in the ring. And Miz calls the title win cheap. It's not even a real official title win because you only beat me. You didn't beat us. You have never beaten us. So they want a shot at they want their tag team titles back, and they want them back now. Lucha House Party come in, coincidentally takes the mic and just starts screaming in Spanish. Asks Morrison to translate. Morrison lies. Iggy Kofi say that is not what he said, and Kofi's like, I'm not going to repeat that to you whatsoever. Miz wants to know what he said. Lindsay Dorado is going to say what Grammatically said, but outcome for whatever reason, and I guess it saves the game. The Forgotten Sons. Wesley Blake, Steve Cutler, and Jackson Riker. They come out, and the best thing about this is that Miz goes to talk, and Jackson Riker's like, you're a phony. Just immediately says, you're a phony. You play a Marine in the movies, but you're staring back at him. A Marine staring at you right in the face. So when was the last time you actually heard the word phony on WWE television? It's been a good minute. Of course, Wesley Blake says, we will be forgotten no more. We can attack at any time, any place, anywhere, and you wouldn't see it coming. Then he attacks Big E. And it's a Pier 6 brawl. All four teams are brawling for a minute. Miz and Morrison get out of there. Lucha House Party is taken to the outside, so the Forgotten Sons leave alone with the New Day. It's 3-on-2, so the New Day get left laying by the Forgotten Sons. If this is not the start of the possible Xavier Woods return to have the Forgotten Sons versus the New Day, then I don't know what they're doing. So this was the best the Forgotten Sons have looked in ages since their tag team tournament loss to Ricochet and Aleister Black in the finals of the Dusty Classic last year. This is the best they looked. This was absolutely good for them. Do I think they should be in title contention yet? No, they've had one match, but hey, I want to throw your name in the hat because WWE only has on SmackDown the New Day, the Usos, Miz and Morrison, the Forgotten Sons, Lucha House Party, and the New and Heavy Machinery. And Heavy Machinery doesn't seem to be much of an active tag team because it's Otis is feuding with Dolph Ziggler, and Sonya Deville with Mandy Rose. So there is that. So we come back from break. As we go to break, we come back, and Miz and Morrison are not happy backstage. They're just pissed off that everything just happened. They felt disrespected. They feel like they're talking about the Forgotten Sons. Oh, no. They're talking about Lucha House Party because Lucha House Party started it all, they say. Which they could have been talking about the Forgotten Sons, as they probably were, but when somebody asked them, what are you talking about the Sons? They're like, oh, no, not them. We mean Lucha House Party because they started all this. Then we have Henry Oda ring. It's Drew Gulak versus Baron Corbin Money in the Bank qualifier. What is with WWE's thing here? Drew Gulak has his own entrance music. I know he's doing the whole thing with Daniel Bryan. He's being a buddy to Daniel Bryan. He's, of course, buddies backstage with Daniel Bryan properly, and that's why he's in the position he is, getting time on TV. But he has his own music. Why is he coming out to Daniel Bryan's music? Is this an underlings thing because he's an underling to Daniel Bryan? Daniel Bryan's the biggest star. Even though Drew Gulak offered to help train Daniel Bryan into being a better wrestler and being better at his game, that he is using his music. Why? I think it's stupid. We know he has his own music, so just let him use his music. Now, they lock up. Corbin throws Gulak to the outside. Corbin mocks Bryant, saying he put Gulak onto this. Baron Corbin is not taking Drew Gulak as a threat whatsoever. He just is like, yes, he's as tall as he is. Gulak's like half his size, so he's like, I'm gonna go out there and wipe the floor with this guy. He says, this is where the big boy, this is where the men play. This is what champions are for. This right here, pointing to the Money in the Bank. This is for the future champions, not this little pipsqueak Drew Gulak. So he's beating on this guy. He asks him, you think you belong? You think you belong? Brian yelling instructions, telling him to go for the leg. He's able to get some offense in on Corbin, taking him down. to the outside. He gets intense, starts beating the hell out of Baron Corbin, sending him over the announce table. We go to break. Back from break, Gulak is in control. Corbin pushes him into the corner, gets out, he does his running slide out, go around the ring post in for a clothesline for a 2 count. Gulak is still fighting. He gets a roll up for 2. Corbin lifts Gulak up, just picks him up as if he's nothing, and just throws him down face first into the ground, into the mat for a 2. Corbin working on the knees in the corner. Gulak catches and kick and has some many strikes for Corbin. Then he has a drop kick, goes for a choke slam. Corbin and Gulak's him, goes for a choke slam backbreaker, but Gulak turns that into a roll up for a 2 count. They're outside. Corbin is caught by Drew Gulak. Looks like Gulak's gonna do a dragon screw. He has him. Looks like he's gonna do dragon screw. He looks and sees the ring steps are right there. Let me go over here a little bit and dragon screw him into the ring steps. Gulak goes up top, hits a diving clothesline for a 2 count. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Dan Ryan's out there. He's cheering on this guy, and Cesaro and Nakamura, out of nowhere, attack Daniel Bryan, taking him out. They get over the barricade. Gulak takes out Cesaro, but Corbin gives Corbin a chance to slam Gulak into the post. Back inside, end of days, 1, 2, 3. Corbin is your winner. If there's one thing about Baron Corbin that you will always see, is the fact that Baron Corbin will always have underlings. Since 2018, Drew Gulak has been, Baron Corbin has had Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. He's had Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Now, I guess, because I don't know what's going on with Sami Zayn, I know he has wisdom teeth pulled. But now is it Cesaro and Nakamura, now the underlings to Baron Corbin? This guy, I guess he is king, but so stupid. I wish they would kill the king gimmick. But I guess because his one servant, loyal servant, is off doing a thing with Otis and the other one's MIA, they need to have new underlings for him. Does Corbin need it? No. The guy gets enough heat as it is. The other two are over as up as they're going to be. This makes no sense. Oh yeah, he had the revival at one time too. I mean, name me a time in the last few years where Baron Corbin hasn't been part of a group. Like, it brought Drew McIntyre down, but they finally got Drew McIntyre to be a babyface and got him away from all this garbage. Does he need it? No. People hated Baron Corbin enough as it is. Now, if they wanted to call 2 people up from NXT and put them under Baron Corbin to get them heat, by all means, that's fine, because if you want to give somebody 2 guys heel heat better than anything, you put them with Baron Corbin. Cesaro and Nakamura do not need Baron Corbin's help to get heel heat. So we get told that we're going to have a chapter 3 of Jeff Hardy's The Redemption. We had the rise, the fall, and now the redemption. We go to break. We come back and we have Sheamus coming to the ring. Sheamus is going to take on a WWE talent, in the Performance Center talent, as they called it. This was apparently he's a former rugby star, this Daniel Vidit, I think, or whatever the hell his name is. He comes in, he gets some shots. Sheamus is not happy about that. He just beats the hell out of this guy, hammer fist him over and over and over again. Kills him, says, "I will not be disrespected. You're gonna disrespect me? I will not be disrespected." It's the bro kick, 1, 2, 3. That was that. So Corey Graves mentions it's great to see that Sheamus just left and didn't come over here and bother us just so he can get our job done. Cole mentions that I don't know what is the deal with Sheamus, because we just talked about this guy, Jeff Hardy, which I talked about it last week, and I'll mention it again. How many chances did Jeff Hardy get before WWE says enough is enough? As long as he tries to redeem himself and tries to get better, WWE is going to continue to take a chance on him. And what kind of message is that? Same thing with the Usos. How many times can they get hit with DUIs before WWE says enough is enough? But obviously, you know who Sheamus is going to be feuding with when Jeff Hardy comes back. It's going to be Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. Why? Because they can. Why is Sheamus going up against jobbers because they can. Jobber matches are meant for people that who aren't established and need some rough edges, like Wardlow in AEW. He's facing jobbers because nobody knows who Wardlow is. Yes, his first match was against Cody. Cody made him look good. But you didn't. But him going up against jobbers makes sense. Same thing with Brody Lee. Same thing with Lance Archer. Three big guys needing jobbers right now because you're not going to take guys like that and take them up against your established talent and have them beat established talent because you want to make these guys look good and see what you can go with them. Here, Sheamus is an established talent. We know what he is. We know how good or bad he is. Why is he going up against guys from the Performance Center? Is your roster that stretched thin? Really? You really need to use roster like talent, Performance Center talent against him. Now I know Chad Gable and Ali, which hopefully the Shorty G shit's over with this whole thing that's going on. But WWE, the best you got. Famous, well-established talent that everybody knows, loves, hates, or whatever. And he's going up against these losers. So, if Jeff Hardy comes back next week, then we know I fully expect him to eat a bro kick. If he doesn't, if it's the week after that, then whatever. All I know is we know where this is going, and should we care? So we go to break, which we get the chapter of redemption, and it's just pretty much that video they did on the WWE Network with the Hardy Boys about 2-3 years ago. Well, about 2 years ago, yeah, 2.5 years ago, which just chronologized everything that happened with the Hardys. They tried their best to keep Matt Hardy out of this every time, like everything that happened with Matt and Jeff. They tried to, keep it to where it was only Jeff, nothing from Matt. We didn't hear Matt's voice at all because Matt works in AEW now. They don't want to highlight somebody from AEW. So they tried to make it all about Jeff and leave Matt Hardy out of it. And we go to break, we come back, we get a classic Triple H moment with his DX invasion at WCW. Michael Cole and Corey Graves are talking, and Michael Cole is bringing up Sheamus again, and what's his deal with Jeff Hardy and everything, and like Cole and Corey Graves is just looking at him, like looks over, and like Cole, he just points at Cole, and Cole looks to the side. Sheamus is there, he is pissed. Like, gee, I wonder who's going to be going up against Jeff Hardy when he makes his return. So Sheamus goes to Cole, he just backs and grabs his headset and just pulls it off and throws it down. And then Lucha House Party's music hits as it's going to be The Miz and Morrison versus the Lucha House Party. Miz Morrison came out before the break. Miz taking on Dorado at the beginning. Morrison tags in, taking it to Dorado. Miz with another he was doing a fight forever chant in the corner just to, be goofy and everything. Finally tags in, splash off Dorado's shoulders for a 2 count, running knee to Dorado. Miz tags in, double team, and smash strikes by Miz. Frequent tags by Miz Morrison, Dorado taking the heat. Must have been a quick tag or something because I did not remember seeing Mental League tag in and tag out like quickly. Springboard stunner, but Miz gets a big tag. Mental League tag gets tagged, goes to work on Miz. Sling Blade, Bulldog, I think that's what it looked like. Metal League moonsault blocked. Miz goes to put Metal League in the Skull Crusher finale. Has him in the full Nelson. Looks for it, picks him up. Metal League rolls through. 1, 2, 3. Lucha House Party beats Miz and Morrison for probably the biggest upset so far this year. But you had the Lucha House Party, who had been nothing but comedy fodder, even though in the Elimination Chamber you saw things that Lucha House Party did that you wouldn't see any other team do, and it made me wonder, it's like, could we get these guys to be turned into a serious tag team? Because what Metalik and Dorado did in that match made me want to see a little bit more from them. Give these guys some time, give them an inch, let them take it a mile if they can. Give these guys a chance. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe they'll be challenging for the tag team titles. I don't think they're going to win them, but they just beat the tag team champions that were tag team champions last week, the former tag champs. And then we go back from after break. We come back and it's Sasha Banks versus Lacey Evans in the women's Money in the Bank qualifier. The winner of this match, of course, would go to Money in the Bank, to climbing the corporate ladder at WWE's corporate building. I think those ladder matches are already taped. There was talk about how last week or the week before that WWE filmed stuff at the HQ already. So I think these matches are already set in stone. But all right. It also has been confirmed that Tamina will be taking on Bayley at Money in the Bank for the Women's Championship. The fact that we're in 2020, Tamina is getting a Women's Championship match on a pay-per-view. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That I don't envy Bayley that she has to carry this match. I will say this. I would rather see Bayley versus Tamina for the Women's Championship than Nia Jax getting a Women's Championship match ever again. That's just me. But Banks comes out, and back in NXT, when Banks and Charlotte were down in NXT early on, they were part of what was it called? It was a group with Summer Rae. I cannot remember the name of the team. I was going to say PMS, Pretty Mean Sisters, but that was in the Attitude Era. Never mind. Oh, BFF, the Beautiful Fierce Females. Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Summer Rae. Summer Rae was called up to the main roster. So when Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha Banks would make their entrances, one of them would be holding a stick with a picture of Summer Rae's head on it. Banks revived that a little bit because she came out to the ring with a stick with a picture of Summer, the daughter of Lacey Evans, on it. She was waving it like a fan as she was walking to the ring. So that's one way to get a little bit of heel heat. That would have been great for the show if we would have had that going on. There was an actual crowd that would have got a lot of heel heat probably. But Evans goes after Bayley during the beginning because Bayley still had the picture of Summer in her hands. Banks takes advantage, but Evans throws Banks into the barricade on the outside, which looked absolutely brutal. Turns to Bayley, has her by the hand, and has her by the left hand, has her woman's right hand, and just is like, threatening her, it's like, you want this? Do you want this? So Banks from behind shoves her, and her fist goes right into the ring post, damaging the woman's right. Knees to Evans in the corner, missed. Evans clotheslines Banks twice, then a running knee, goes for the ropes, standing Bronco Buster. She goes for her handstand Bronco Buster, but she cannot grip with her hurt hand. So that drops, so she couldn't do anything there. Let's see here. Banks is then, they're going up for a superplex a little bit later, and Banks gets out of it, stepping on Lacey Evans' hand, who is gripping the top rope. Evans goes after Bayley as Evans rolls. So we get a little bit closer, and we're getting to the end of the match. And Banks gets hit with the woman's right, I believe it was. And she's down. She's at the side of the rope. She's where the ropes, where Bayley could get over there to help her if she needed to. Evans goes for the pin. Bayley grabs her foot, puts Banks' foot on the rope, and ref sees it 2 count. Bayley's like, that's great ring awareness. That's great ring awareness. Lacey Evans has had enough of Bayley. She grabs her, pulls her into the ring, is going to mess her up. Ref finally pulls Lacey Evans off. Banks rolls up Lacey Evans. He has her down. Corey Graves is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ref is dealing with Bayley, who's in the middle of the ring still. Or at the edge of the ring still. She finally rolls out. Ref runs back. 1, 2, 2 count. Banks get up. She is not happy at all. She looks at Bayley. She's like, stay out of it. Just stay out of it. In the most pissed off she has been with Bayley in a while. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. He's slow. It's not my fault. He's slow. He said, Bayley, turn around. Boom. Woman's right. 1, 2, 3. Lacey Evans wins. As expected, Banks and Bayley do not need Money in the Bank. I think it would actually take away from their feud by having her win Money in the Bank. I think it would. I think it'd be too obvious what was going to happen. So them building to these two at SummerSlam is going just the way it needs to. Dissension. Everything is fine with Bayley, and everything is going wrong with Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks was done to a match against Tamina because of Bayley. Sasha Banks ended up losing that match last week because of Lacey Evans. This week she loses the match to Lacey Evans because of Bayley. Everything's coming up roses for Bayley. Everything is coming up death for Sasha Banks. So it's going to break off eventually. My question is, can they come up with enough to make this worth it? That's my question. So afterwards, Bayley and Sasha Banks were on stage. Tamina's music hits, and Bayley is looking around, and then all of a sudden, boom! Tamina nails a super kick onto Bayley, leaving her lane. Sasha Banks does not go after Tamina. She just looks at Bayley, looks at Tamina. Tamina walks away, and then she just looks down. So we go to commercial break. They tell us we're going to see the crazy history between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. What has led us to what's going to happen at Money in the Bank? Now, it's a recap pretty much of what happened when Braun Strowman was brought up in the Wyatt family back before he shaved the side of his head and looked he was green as can be. You could tell the guy had hardly been in NXT when Vince McMahon is like, bring this guy up. Bring him up. Just bring him up. But they went through pretty much everything that happened between them two in the Wyatt family, and then 5 years later, last week, that was it. There was nothing else. Nothing else. Even though, wasn't there a promo between Team Raw and Team Smackdown in 2016? Braun Strowman was on the Raw team and Bray Wyatt was on the Smackdown team, and Bray Wyatt chastised Braun Strowman for turning his back on on Bray Wyatt because he brought him into this world and you're gonna betray me. They didn't mention that at all. That seems to be lost footage. So yeah. It was a little bit of a letdown. I just don't see a reason why they need to do this. We all know Bray Wyatt in storyline brought Braun Strowman up from NXT, brought him from the swamp and say, we know Bray Wyatt was the leader of the Wyatt family. Yes, he was. And he was the black sheep. Got the mask last week in that package. But did you really need that? Did you really need that? And then after that, we get a recap of what happened last week between Otis, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, and Dolph Ziggler. And next week, it will be Otis versus Dolph Ziggler, Mandy Rose versus Carmella in Money in the Bank qualifiers. Here's my thing. Why would you have Mandy Rose versus Carmella and not Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville if you're going to do Otis versus Dolph Ziggler? Why not have Dolph Ziggler versus Tucker and Mandy Rose versus Carmella, where Dolph Ziggler, because Otis would be at ringside for his match with Tucker's match with Dolph Ziggler, would get screwed out of the match because he's too obsessed with trying to taunt and talk trash to Otis. It would bite him in the ass. And then, of course, for the women's match, Sonya Deville can screw Mandy Rose. So I know the week after WrestleMania, Otis met up with Mandy Rose at the Performance Center, and he proposed that, not that, but he proposed that they team up to take on Sonya Deville and Dolph Ziggler at Money in the Bank. What happened to that? Is that something they're going to prolong? You couldn't just give us that match at Money in the Bank? You couldn't have given Tucker the spot? I don't know, man. This just makes no sense to me. So I think that Mandy Rose is not winning. I think Carmella is going to the Money in the Bank Money in the Bank ladder match. But the simple fact is, because they want to continue the feud with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And since Sonya Deville's not in this match, I guess it would make more sense for her to screw Mandy out by doing a punch to the face while the ref isn't looking, Don't have her come out with her music. Just have her come out from the back, from the behind one of the barricade spots. Have her come out, punch Mandy Rose, come back over the barricade, hide while the ref isn't looking, and Carmella wins with Dakota Silence or whatever. Then we see another Triple H highlight his return from his first quad injury in 2002 after being gone for 8 months. 8 months. And then we go to Carmella and Dana Brooke versus Bliss and Cross for the women's tag team titles. A lot of people are like, oh my god, Dana Brooke and Alexa Bliss in the same match. This is nightmare fuel. Yet, Alexa Bliss has actually, I did say Nikki Cross, I meant Alexa Bliss and Dana Brooke, because Nikki Cross is good. Carmella can be good if she wants to be. Dana Brooke has minor improvements, but she's got a long way to go. She is years away from being any good. Alexa Bliss, since she's been with Nikki Cross, has gotten a lot better. Am I saying she is 5-star classic type wrestler? No. But she has improved, and I think her being in a tag team is the best thing for her. Alexa Bliss on her own having to work a singles match is a no-go. She is just not there. She, being in a tag team, she could be there and do a couple moves, tag out, let that person do a couple moves, and come back in and do a couple things here and there. Alexa Bliss is better in a tag team. That's just my opinion. What is with WWE in this? And this always bothers me. We have a women's tag team title match. Why is the tag team champions coming out first? This has always bothered me. It's supposed to be champion comes out second, challenger comes out first. It's how it should always be. But Cross and Brooke start the match. Brooke gets a drop kick. Carmella takes out Bliss on the outside. Cross takes out Carmella. Brooke takes out Cross as we go to break, and Dana Brooke standing tall. Carmella and Bliss tag in as we come back. Carmella with a Bronco Buster kick to Bliss, 2 count. Cross breaks it up. Cartwheel elbow drop on the outside takes out Cross from Dana Brooke. Beautiful. The cartwheel, or the cartwheel, the handstand backflip, elbow drop is decent. It's not something that I think you should be doing every time. Now, the end of the match, which was not too long after this, you have Bliss who tags in Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross hits, I think it was Carmella, right? Yeah, Carmella. He tags back and she's looking to see if Bliss is back. She tags in Bliss. Carmella knocks down Nikki Cross, goes for a pin. Ref doesn't let her know that there was a tag. So basically, Bliss tags in, and then all of a sudden, you see Cross lifting up Carmella, Bliss running in, hitting a makeshift DDT. So they call it a version of 3D. 1, 2, 3. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss win with a modified 3D of sorts. It's instead of an elevated cutter, elevated DDT. Bliss got a little too close. I think she needed to be back another half inch to be able to hit that right. It didn't look smooth, but if it's the first time they've ever tried this and this is going to be their tag team finisher, they need to work on it. It looked good, but it didn't look great. If Bliss gets into the right position and they elevate and do it right, that could be a hell of a finisher for them to have, and it just solidifies their tag team even more. Tag team should have finishers. Usos have the double Us where they do the double splash. New Day have the Midnight Hour. The Dudley Boys have the 3D. The Hardys have the Twist of Fate and Swanton combination. This could be theirs. They just need to first off, give it a name. And they can't just call it a modified 3D. Give it a name. I don't care if you want to call it the Bliss Cross Driver or whatever, just give it a name. And work on it. Because that's all you need to do. And then the rest of the show. So it's about 9:35. We go to commercial break and we're coming back to a Triple H celebration for 25 years. It's 35. So there's 25 minutes left in this show. We're going to have 2 commercials. This one and one halfway through whatever this is going to be. You figured this is where you're gonna elevate somebody. They're gonna take out Triple H and possibly Shawn Michaels or anybody else coming out to celebrate with Triple H. No, this was the roast of Triple H. Triple H comes out, has his water bottle, gonna do his drink the water, spit out. But before he even gets on the apron, some bum comes in, that guy comes in wearing a mask, just walks by, grabs the water, and says, and pretty much is like, it's no time for you to be spitting water, Triple H. Triple H is like, what the? And throws the bottle cap, gets in there. He's like, what is this? He says, 25 years. What an accomplishment. And boom, Shawn Michaels comes out. Shawn Michaels is out here. He's making jokes about this. He's roasting Triple H. He's just having a whole bunch of fun. This was, if you had a laugh, I wouldn't blame you because it is Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Was it stupid? Absolutely. This was all stupid. So, we get some of the greatest outtakes in DX history. We get Triple H's losses at WrestleMania. The fact that Shawn Michaels never had a 25th anniversary celebration, but Triple H does. Just then, Shawn Michaels is like, been all fun and games, but then you met that girl, Stephanie. No fun. Conveniently, Stephanie's we hear. Wait, not Stephanie to the kids, but we hear the phone ring. Triple H is FaceTiming his wife. He pretty much goes on a tear about she's watching it live. Shawn Michaels is a no good, sorry son of, and then he hangs that up. Shawn Michaels mentions Evolution. We get a call from Ric Flair, and they talk for a minute, and then Shawn Michaels says, "You shouldn't be answering your phone," and then we hear the phone go off again. You hear somebody crying on it, and we go to break. We come back, and Road Dogg is on the phone. Apparently, Ric Flair called him back and was crying. They talk a little bit. And then Shawn Michaels talked about mentioned the words Katie Vick, and then out comes Vince McMahon. He said, and Vince McMahon is tearing him at this, just making light of all this, saying this is worse than the Gobbledygooker. The fact that he mentioned how he had so many plans and aspirations to make the Gobbledygooker be something big and great, and it just didn't work out. Mentions Katie Vick again, because can we please not mention that atrocity? Please not mention Katie Vick. That I'm sorry. He even mentions here's my son-in-law here. I'm saying it, naked in a casket with this mannequin thing. How could you stoop to those lows? Mentions the fact that it was worse than Bayley. This is your life. That wasn't Bayley's fault, by the way. Thank you for somebody finally admitting that. Saying that if we were in a crowd of 15,000 people or so, your family was chanting Triple H and everyone else would be chanting boring, 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 because it is boring. Then he says the rest of his piece, and then wrap it up, hombre. And then walks out, and then the lights start cutting out, and we hear a cricket sound. Triple H says, "Is that a cricket? You hear a cricket?" All you hear Shawn Michaels says, "Story of your career." And we go off. This was different. This was Triple H, of course, patting himself on the back, because that is what Triple H does. But it could have been way, way worse. It could have just been Triple H coming out here, gloating with how great his career was. He did mention in a serious moment, he thanked Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Mick Foley, and all those other guys who, quite honestly, if he was not in the ring with those legends and everything, his career would not be where it is. Yes, I know, he married the boss's daughter and everything. But he even mentioned that if it wasn't for their careers, I would not be nothing. I would not be where I am today. And all that. So, Triple H, pat yourself on the back night, the roast of Triple H, as you call it. 25 years, again, is a long time in one company. Yes. I'm surprised he lasted 25 years in this one company. I mean, And Triple H and Shawn Michaels, Triple H not made it. If Triple H would have broke up with, like, him and Stephanie would have broke up, Triple H's career would have been over in WWE a long time ago. Majorly would have been over with. No doubt about it. So that is Triple H. Pat myself on the back night. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The France Club, find me on twitch.tv/The France Club, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Unscripted. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.